Illyrians were a group of Indo-European-speaking peoples who inhabited the Western Balkan Peninsula in ancient times. They constituted one of the three main Paleo-Balkan populations, along with the Thracians and Greeks. The territory the Illyrians inhabited came to be known as Illyria, to later Greek and Roman authors who identified a territory that corresponds to most of Albania, Montenegro, Kosovo, much of Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, western and central Serbia, and some parts of Slovenia between the Adriatic Sea in the west, the Drava River in the north, the Morava River in the east, and the Ceronian Mountains in the south. The first account of Illyrian peoples dates back to the 6th century BC, in the works of the ancient Greek writer Hecataeus of Miletus. The name Illyrians, as applied by the ancient Greeks to their northern neighbors, may have referred to a broad, ill-defined group of peoples. It has been suggested that the Illyrian tribes never collectively identified as Illyrians, and that it is unlikely that they used any collective nomenclature at all. Illyrian seems to be the name of a specific Illyrian tribe who were among the first to encounter the ancient Greeks during the Bronze Age. The Greeks later applied this term, Illyrians, pars pro toto, to all people with similar language and customs. In archaeological, historical, and linguistic studies, research about the Illyrians from the late 19th to the 21st century has moved from pan-Illyrian theories, which identified as Illyrian even groups north of the Balkans, to more well-defined groupings based on Illyrian onomastics and material anthropology since the 1960s, as newer inscriptions were found and sites excavated. There are two principal Illyrian onomastic areas, the southern and the Dalmatian Pannonian, with the area of the Dardani as a region of overlapping between the two. A third area to the north of them, which in ancient literature was usually identified as part of Illyria, has been connected more to the Venetic language than to Illyrian. Illyric settlement in Italy was and still is attributed to a few ancient tribes, which are thought to have migrated along the Adriatic shorelines to the Italian peninsula, from the geographic Illyria, the Dauni, the Puseti and Misati, collectively known as Iapeges. The term Illyrians last appears in the historical record in the 7th century, referring to a Byzantine garrison operating within the former Roman province of Illyricum. What happened to the Illyrians after the settlement of the Slavs in the region is a matter of debate among scholars. It includes the question whether the Albanian language is a descendant of an Illyrian language. Etymology. While the Illyrians are largely recorded under the ethnonyms of Illyrioi and Illyrii, these appear to be misspelled renditions by Greek or Latin-speaking writers. Based on historically attested forms denoting specific Illyrian tribes or the Illyrians as a whole, the native tribal name from which these renditions were based has been reconstructed by linguists such as Heiner Eichner. According to Eichner, this ethnonym translating to water snake is derived from Proto-Indo-European *budlo, of water aquatic, sharing a common root with ancient Greek bulos meaning fish, or a small water snake. The Illyrian ethnonym shows a DL-L shift via assimilation, as well as the addition of the suffix urio, which is found in Illyrian toponyms such as Trigurium. Eichner also points out the tribal name's close semantic correspondence to that of the Enchele, which translates to eel people, depicting a similar motif of aquatic snake-like fauna. It is also pointed out that the ancient Greeks must have learned this name from a tribe in southern Illyria, later applying it to all related and neighboring peoples. History. Depending on the complexity of the diverse physical geography of the Balkans, arable farming and livestock, mixed farming rearing had constituted the economic basis of the Illyrians during the Iron Age. In southern Illyria, organized realms were formed earlier than in other areas of this region. One of the oldest known Illyrian kingdoms is that of the Enchele, which seems to have reached its height from the 8th-7th centuries BC. But the kingdom fell from dominant power around the 6th century BC. It seems that the weakening of the kingdom of Enchele resulted in their assimilation and inclusion into a newly established Illyrian realm at the latest in the 5th century BC, marking the arising of the Dacereti, who appear to have replaced the Enchele in the lakeland area of Lychnidus. According to a number of modern scholars, the dynasty of Bardilas, the first attested Illyrian dynasty, was Daceretan. The weakening of the Enchelean realm was also